You know, people often ask me why I do this. Why do I want to go out camping when it's cold on my own? Why do I want to go swimming in the sea in the winter? It's not hard to explain. It's because it makes me feel alive. It's exhilarating, it makes me happy, and those are the feelings I want lots of in my life. And also, a really big thing is that it builds your confidence. Okay, confidence to take on another challenge, but that confidence spreads over into all areas of your life, and you just seem to realise that you can tackle things, you can cope. Bad things happen to everybody, we have bad times, but you know you're going to be able to cope. And why wouldn't I want to be out on this gorgeous day? I mean, it's just beautiful. I'm so happy at the moment. Relaxed, peaceful. Yeah, it's great. Wonderful out here. Oh, there they go. There's the stag now coming to see what's happening. So many of them. Wow. Go back that way now.
And then I came across a COVID snake. During the pandemic, there's been some great community initiatives, and I really love this rock snake idea, where children and adults are encouraged to decorate rocks and pebbles and add them to create a snake to see how far it can grow. I know that children have loved watching these snakes grow.
Do you know what? I'm doing so well for time, and I'm so desperate for coffee. I thought I'd get my stuff out and make one. Here we go. Oh, nearly getting conkers and acorns on my head. Okay, this down. Not balanced brilliantly on there, but it seems to be coping, and it's nearly boiling, so I'm not going to touch it. So I've just come upon this absolutely gorgeous place, and I've kind of really got to stop and have a snack, I think, don't you? And I think I'm going to sit right there. That's such a pretty footbridge. I'm so glad I'm going over it. Wow, it's only wide enough for one person. How cool is this? Whoa. So that way we've got oh, it's squeaking a bit. Oh dear. Oh my goodness, what's this coming into view? It's like coming across the Arc de Triomphe in the middle of the woods. Wow. Well, I'm highly honoured to have this on my trail. Don't actually know what it is. Isn't that amazing? Let's go under it, shall we?
So eventually I got to the place where I was going to camp that night, and I decided to camp next to the lake, right over there on the other side, next to that scarecrow you can just about see.
I think these guys are happy to see me turn up. Oh look, brown one. Oh, you're nice. Gonna call you Malteser. And you. Oh, I have caused a stir.
So I got on with pitching my tent in that spot that I pointed out to you earlier, emptying my things out of my rucksack, sleeping bag, mat, everything, and I walked around the other side, had a look at my little home sitting there for the evening. Yeah, great.
Okay. So I've just boiled up the water and poured it into my Nalgene pot, and this is going to be my hot water bottle. So let's pop the top on. Here we go. So I think it's time for me to start thinking about getting inside now and getting all cosy. I've got some food that I've got just in the vestibule here that I'm just going to snack on. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Sun is just going down, as you can see. Really peaceful here by this lake.
So I snuggled into my sleeping bag and all was well and good, but I actually ended up having a pretty uncomfortable night and I was really cold. And I'll tell you about that shortly and why that happened. But what can you do? You wake up and you get the coffee on, and luckily I had some gorgeous chocolate pastries, so it wasn't long before all was well in my world.
Morning. I've just left the spot where I camped last night. I didn't wild camp. I stayed at a fishing lake, and the reason I chose to do that was I'd read before I left home that the guy Lee had just sort of taken it over and was trying to build it up, and was in the initial stages, and I just wanted to support him. So but actually it was fantastic. There was only me there, and Lee doesn't live on site anyway, so basically it was just me and this fishing lake and the swans, so it was just lovely. So I had to make a bit of a deviation before I got there, because I realised I'd left my mobile phone lead at home. I could manage without my phone. I don't actually need it to get around this 4-day route, but I know my kids get in touch with me to see where I am and what I'm doing, so I thought, no, I do want to have my phone. So I nipped into a town, got a lead, and then went down to the campsite. So it's basic facilities, but Lee did come and give me 4 big 1.5 litre bottles of water, so that was fantastic. That's all I needed. And so very soon after, I was tired, so I made my Nalgene bottle, hot water bottle, which was amazing, and snuggled in. And yeah, I went to sleep quite soon. I woke up at 2 AM feeling a bit cold, and I realised that my sleeping mat had deflated. So I sat there in this enclosed space and blew this up and snuggled back in again, put on my buff and my hat to try and warm up a bit. And the same thing happened at 3 AM and the same thing happened at 4 AM. But anyway, I just blew it up, and what can you do? You just get on with it, and it was fine, really. I did hear some sort of snuffling outside the tent. I don't know what that was, but I do have food, and I guess animals have a very acute sense of smell, but I had wrapped it up really well, but that was okay. And then I was woken up this morning by the swans that were taking off over my tent, and it sounded so loud. It was amazing, and I just caught the tail end of them. Too late to take a photo, but just caught the tail end of them, and they took off. So I got up, made coffee, and waited in vain for the tent to dry out. Inside was lovely, but obviously the outside was soaked. So this backpack's a bit heavy today because the tent's quite full of water. I didn't really have time to wait. So I'm on my way to down to Corfe today, to one of my Corfe Castle, one of my favourite castles in the UK, mainly because of its dramatic position in the skyline. I absolutely love it. So that's where I'm making my way today, and I'm hoping I'm going to have a view of it from somewhere I camp tonight. So I'll catch up with you all later, try and film as much as I can, but obviously I've got to be mindful of preserving battery. Bye! My morning went pretty well, walking from Wimborne down to Poole on the Castleman Trailway. And then I went into Upton Country House because I noticed their tea room was open. And whilst I was sitting there, charged my phone up a little bit, and realised that the next few miles of my journey was lots of roads and traffic, so I wasn't looking forward to it. And then suddenly I noticed there was a train that would just take me a couple of stops to miss all that bit out. The only problem was the train was once an hour, the next one was going in 26 minutes, and when I looked at my phone it said it would take me 24 minutes to get to the station. So I quickly packed everything up, set off. I thought it was worth a go, and I literally stepped on the platform as I heard the announcement the train was coming in. So I jumped on that train, then bought myself a ticket on my phone, and yeah, so that got me to Wareham. So I'm just leaving Wareham now. You can probably see all the boats in the background. Just leaving Wareham Quay. I'm now on the Purbeck Way, and this is going to take me down to Corfe, which is what I've been looking forward to, and which is where I'm going to end the journey today. It's about 2 o'clock now, and I think it'll take me about 3 hours. So then I'll start thinking about my camp. So yeah, I'm having a great time. Bit tired, hot, weary, but it comes in fits and starts. Always helps when I get some chocolate or something. One thing I would urge you to be aware of if you're kind of new to this like I am, this multi-day hiking or just long distance hiking, is that lots of people said to me, oh, you're choosing things like South Downs Way, Purbeck Way, you know, all these trails that are well-worn trails, and they're well signposted, which is true, they are, and you can just follow in everyone's footsteps because the path is so easy to follow. It's not like that anymore, I found, because of COVID. So I believe, because of lots of the owners I speak to, or lots of people in the restaurants and tea rooms, because of COVID, there's been so many less people coming out and doing all this stuff that it's amazing how the vegetation has grown up. You can see behind me here, okay, that's the route, and it's, if I spin round, okay, I know where I'm going because I've got my map and everything, but I wouldn't say this was obvious. And it's like this in lots of the parts I've walked in. Vegetation has taken this opportunity to really, you know, grow back up. So don't rely on, not that you ever should, but don't rely on being able to obviously see a path. The signposts are good. Some of them have come down. So you obviously always need a map. This is not too bad here, but the area I've just come through, you couldn't see any path at all, but I knew I was going the right way because I'd marked it out. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that, because a lot of people do say that to you, and don't think you'll be able to follow a well-worn path on the ground, because I don't know what it's like throughout the country generally, but here in the Purbeck and definitely in the South Downs Way, it's really, you know, the vegetation's gone a little bit wild, just like we want to do. Just thought I'd say that anyway, just thought I'd mention it. So it's 3 p.m. now. I'm making good progress towards Corfe. Really enjoying this environment out here. Just me, and it's so peaceful. I just love all this. So, oh look, you can see here what I mean about vegetation taking over a bit on the path. Yeah, I think I'll go to the left here, but yes, it's taking its opportunity while we're not all treading these paths to do its thing. Ow, it's prickly. There we go. There we go. We can see the route opening up now. This is gorgeous. It's getting a little bit chilly, but I've got some more layers. Okay, wet feet or scratched legs. Those trees there, that line of trees, that's all I've got to get to, so I'm sure I can work my way through this lot to get to there. Yeah, looks like we're good. We're good. I can hear cars now, so I know I'm about to leave this area. Oh my goodness, look at this gorgeous spot. I'm so tempted to camp here. I want to go a bit further on though, so there, I like that spot there. Oh wow, and there it is. It's just opened up like that. My first sight. I've just come out the woods and there's Corfe Castle. Wow. So impressive. I absolutely love this castle.
Well, I didn't get myself a view of the castle, but I did find somewhere to pitch. It was a campsite that was just on the verge of closing. It worked really well. I got myself a nice flat pitch and access to water, which is all I really needed, and somewhere cosy to snuggle in for the night.
So I just packed up from the camp and now I'm finding my way across here now to a trail I plan to follow to take me to Studland and Old Harry Rocks. Look how beautiful it is, wow. I think I've got to go up there somewhere. So that sign, oh there's a little sign there warning me badger holes. Beware of badger holes. Listen, all you can hear are the birds. I don't know if you can see far over there in the distance is Bournemouth, and then we're coming over to Poole and all the islands in Poole Harbour, including Brownsea Island, made famous in one way by Enid Blyton. I've stopped here, I've tucked myself away behind some bushes because it's getting a little bit windy because I'm getting near to Old Harry Rock, so I'm really tucked away, and I thought I've really got to have a brew with a view here. Isn't it beautiful? So quiet. Let's see what I've got left to eat. We're running low now. Muffin. Ooh. I mean, can you believe this though? This is October the 16th on the Dorset coast. Wow. I'm going up there now. This is my little sheltered spot I found. What do you think? Perfect. That's where I've had my coffee and a little bit of few snacks. Let's go. So just to give you an idea of where I'm at the moment, I was tucked in those bushes there, and that's the view we had over there of Swanage and everything. So if we just turn around and go over the other side of here, so we walk across, I'll show you what's on the other side. So that's going to be my path down there to Old Harry Rocks, which is a fantastic cliff formation. And then if we come over here, see if I can give you a zoom in view, you might get a better view of Bournemouth, which is there, and Studland, which is that long stretch of sand you can see just there. Behind that is Sandbanks, and yeah, in the distance there, Hengersbury Head, and we can't quite see it behind the trees, it's the Isle of Wight. Such a gorgeous day to be looking at all this. So I'm going to make my way, after I've been to the rocks, I'm going to make my way along down the path, right along that edge of sand there, and then just there's a little chain link ferry that's just going to pop me over to Sandbanks. So there we go. I don't know if you can just see that that's the Isle of Wight over there in the distance. Amazing. Can you see the churned up water there? There must be such a rip there. You can see Old Harry Rocks out there, so that's where I've walked from. Last point I walked from, and it's been a really nice, firm underfoot walk along this beach. Lovely. I need to get across this stretch of water now, so that boat over there with the white top and black bottom behind the red buoy, that's the chain link ferry. It's literally a minute across, but just goes back and forth and ferries you over. So that's where I'm heading. I need to get that to get over the other side. Glad to see it's working as well. Otherwise, it's miles and miles and miles to get round. So last day of the trip, day 4, and I'm just walking through the streets of Christchurch trying to find the start of the Avon Valley Path. It's supposed to start near the castle ruins, and I can just see those above that house there, so looks like I'm nearly there. So today I'm going to be leaving Christchurch, following the Avon Valley Path, which runs between Christchurch and Salisbury. I'm only going halfway because that will take me home. Let's see if we can find the start first. It's not actually proving that easy to find the start. I mean, I could just set off, I know the way, direction to head in. It's just I want to find the sign that says the start. Something quite satisfying about doing that. Well, the castle ruins are definitely through here, so if I can't find the sign there, then I'll just set off in the direction I know. Well, I gave up looking for it in town, and here we go. Picked it up here. Let's go. I am being absolutely rained on by acorns. Look. Pheasants. Look how wonderfully rich and red are these. Is it holly? Yeah, holly. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen such a fantastic display like that. Look at this tree over here as well. Look at this one. This is almost red. It's got so many berries on there. Beautiful. Look at them. Absolutely beautiful berries and leaves. Gorgeous. Well, I know where to come at Christmas time. I didn't just say that, did I?
So as I carried along the path, I was noticing that the puddles were getting bigger. They weren't a problem, but just getting bigger as I went along. And then suddenly, you know, it opened up into this area where there's always a sort of tiny stream that you have to negotiate, but nothing like this. So it was a bit of an abandoned trip really, and I had to walk along the road to get to the end of my journey. Oh well, had a great time. Thanks so much for watching me and my antics, everyone.